Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Fandom United, a blockbuster podcast. It's your boy Gio Ramos here, the insider, and this week it's just me. I will be flying solo and talking with you guys some CinemaCon, which is wrapping up, if not already done. It's been an exciting time for movies. CinemaCon is one of those big events where some projects that are currently in development or already wrapped development get teased for movie theater exhibitors and other producers and all that. It's a very exclusive event if you haven't heard of it, CinemaCon. Although I have heard some people are able to get passes for a hefty price. I think around $1,300 to $1,500, and that's not including airfare, hotel, food, and if there's any merchandising that's for sale. So it does cost a pretty penny. But I'm pretty sure if you have a blog or a YouTube channel or something and you're willing to pay the price, you could probably get in to CinemaCon. And I would like to go one day. That is on my bucket list. But thanks again for joining me, and I hope all of you are well out there. How you doing? Let me know in the chat. I am on my last week here in Nashville. As some of you know, I travel for work. I go from hotel to hotel, no matter what the brand is, and I basically live there for 2 to 3 months at a time, and spend a lot of time helping these hotels get back on their feet. And on my spare time, I get to explore these wonderful cities. And Nashville, Tennessee has been one of those cities that I hear talked about a lot, but it's really something that you have to experience for yourself. I'm not even the biggest country music fan. And let me tell you, there is so much to enjoy about this music city here. There's no shortage of live bands. I haven't seen so many live country bands ever before in my life. And, I've actually gotten to talk to some of these local musicians, and I was really surprised that they're just regular people living their dream. They have regular day jobs like you and I do, but they also make the time after their nine to five jobs to go and be what they want to be, which is musicians. And some of these people here, like Tanner Cherry, who I follow on Instagram, and he follows me back. I met him and his parents. Wonderful, wonderful young man. He, loves writing music and, getting to play his own, guitar instruments. And, he performs at these bars or restaurants or sometimes hotels and places, and he's what I call a hometown hero. He has his regulars, he knows the bartenders by name, he knows the employees, he talks with everyone, and it's one of those feel good environments, whether you're a fan of country music or not. It's really nice, and I've grown in appreciation for the genre. And I had a wonderful time out here, and I do plan on coming back and visiting. Hopefully, I'm assigned here again, if I ever get so lucky. And yeah, so in a few days, I'll be done with Nashville, going back to Sacramento, my home, and then get to spend a little bit of time before heading out to Dallas, Texas. So if you're out there in Dallas, Texas, or anybody, I would love to meet new people. And I go there by myself, a solo traveler, and just go and explore the world. So yeah, that's what's going on in my life. But enough about me. Let's talk about some movies here. And again, this is Fandom United, a blockbuster podcast right here. So we focus on the big releases, the movies that you're likely to go out and watch with your buddies or friends or family, loved ones. And like I said, CinemaCon had a lot to offer this year. We're going to focus on DC, on Marvel, a little bit of outside of the comic book genre, Mortal Kombat 2, the sequel movie. We have a nice update about that and a few more topics. So let's start off with the big one right here. If you haven't seen on your social media or on whatever browser you use to get your news, whether it's Yahoo, Google, MSN, whatever, we have an official trailer for Joker 2 titled Joker Folie à Deux. Joaquin Phoenix is back. Who thought this movie would even happen, right? I mean, nobody really asked for a sequel, but we're getting one anyway, and it's no surprise because Joker Folie à Deux made $1 billion. It was a big time Oscar contender, winning Best Lead Actor and nominated for Best Picture, Best Cinematography as well. So Joker is back, and he's not alone. He is joined by Harley Quinn, another version of Harley Quinn, not played by Margot Robbie, this time played by Lady Gaga. And in case you're hearing about this project for the first time, some of you might be wondering, Lady Gaga, why would they do that? Well, because the direction for the sequel is going to be a musical. At least that's what we thought at first, until the director, Todd Phillips, who directed the first movie, also did the very first Hangover movie with Bradley Cooper, came out and said, this movie is very much in line with the first movie, but it does have a number of musical elements. And I think the number was 15. So some of them will be renditions of popular songs that we've heard. And as you can see on the bottom right of your screen, there was one shot right there of a musical number with Joaquin Phoenix, and then you see Harley Quinn. We see an official look of her getup right there, and you know, I am starting to really have more confidence in this direction for the sequel being a musical. Okay, obviously we know Lady Gaga is a talent. She can sing, she can dance, she can act. We saw her do give a really good performance opposite Bradley Cooper. I believe the movie was called A Star Is Born. And what do we know about Joaquin Phoenix, right? He's a great actor, but he can also sing. Remember, he was the man in black, Johnny Cash, in 2005's Walk the Line. So you got two performers who can sing, who can dance, and they're going to give us a very unique adaptation of comic book characters that we've are familiar with and also love. So I'm very excited for this movie. I thought the trailer looked wonderful. I mean, the cinematography, the color grading, the costumes, the music that we got. I mean, it was just an awesome first trailer, one that set the tone and let you know that, this is what it's going to be. Either you're a fan of it or you're not, but I think even if you're not, it should be something that at least makes you curious enough to go see in theaters, whether it's by yourself, with a significant other, or go with a family. Because comic book movies like this, I mean, what do we criticize the genre for often, right? It's being too formulaic, right? It's repetitive. Well, there's nothing really repetitive about Joker Folie à Deux based on what we've seen and what we've heard. So I'm really looking forward to this. I hope you are. Let me know in the chat. Excuse me. Take a quick drink of water right there. So that one was a big piece of news that dropped, a trailer. Um Now we did get some news on the upcoming Superman movie. Before we get to some new developments, there's another piece of news that dropped regarding one of the more iconic, probably the most iconic live adaptation of a comic book character, Superman. Christopher Reeve is getting his own documentary, and it's being titled Superman: The Christopher Reeve Story. It will be the first film under the new DC Studios label. So DC did a whole reset with their studio after they ended the universe that featured Jason Momoa, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, and they're making this one their first movie, and it's really just one that's going to honor what came before and what really put DC on the map. And this one right here is a documentary that follows Christopher Reeve, who found strength and purpose through activism after he was paralyzed from a equestrian accident. And we all love Christopher Reeve. We do. We love what he's done with the Superman character. We enjoy the movies, very iconic. And this right here is one that's going to be a real tearjerker. I mean, this is what the genre is all about right here, right? I mean, movies that inspire, characters that, bring out the hero within us, that make us feel more. And Christopher Reeve, what he did for the character, what he did for the genre, and then the tragic story, the accident, but never giving up. I mean, that right there should inspire hope, right? Isn't that what Superman is all about, right? Just hope and truth and justice and all that good stuff. And so this is a documentary that, I'm a fan of documentaries, but this one right here is one that I'm really looking forward to. Make sure you bring a box of tissue because it's going to get quite emotional. So again, this documentary is called Superman: The Christopher Reeve Story, and be on the lookout. I really like that. They're going to start off this universe with a documentary that honors the past and make sure that they get their flowers once again before they really kick off this universe that they hope will compete with Marvel and what Marvel has done successfully for the past 16 years now. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And so is Keith Barnes, who I'm actually going to bring in right now. I know he's a big fan of, the Christopher Reeve movies for Superman. Keith, how are you doing? And did you hear about this Superman Christopher Reeve story that will be a documentary that follows
Oh,
Reeve once he went through all that paralysis from
hmm.
the accident? Did you hear about this? I mean,
No.
this is really cool, man. Like, I know you're a big fan of the movies. Like, how important is this story? And what are your thoughts on this documentary arriving this September?
So what is documentary? What is it that it's about?
So
His
as it says right here, the documentary follows Christopher Reeve, how he found strength and purpose through activism after he was
oh,
paralyzed
okay, gotcha.
from the equestrian accident.
Yes.
So this is going to be the story that kind of dives deep into Christopher Reeve's struggle to find like it says purpose.
That's
But
great.
man, dude, like to start off a universe with a documentary like this that honors the past, like this is going to be a tearjerker, for a lot of people, kids who grew up watching the Superman movies.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And I believe I was just about to double check here. I believe that accident happened in Virginia, uh, indeed, uh, kind of northern
Hmm.
Virginia near UVA. But yeah, that's great. He was. People don't realize and he's so known for Superman uh, in that role, and he a lot of uh, a lot of what we know about Superman mythos, like a lot of that stuff. Well, not a lot, but there's some stuff that he came up with. That
Hmm.
whole idea of Clark Kent being this mild mannered, shy, kind of unsure of himself, like that. That whole thing, like he did that. Like he created that kind of that Clark Kent persona.
Yeah.
Um, of kind of a stumbling, you know, almost kind of clumsy, just sort of like it's amazing that people don't. I don't know, maybe more people know that now, but that's something I didn't realize until a few years ago. Um, and yeah, it'll be great to see. He was, he went to Juilliard. Like he's a classically trained actor. Like he was real close with Robin Williams.
Hmm.
Uh, I know that about him. And then yeah, like he was one of those people. I mean, he was a really like on his way to being like this great actor. I wonder if playing that role of Superman kind of maybe uh, he didn't seem to
Limited
get
his
the
opportunities.
yeah like he didn't seem to get that leading man. Uh, he didn't get the leading man roles that he probably should have because he was just as good, if not better, than any of the leading men
Yeah,
of that era. The late '70s, early '80s on. And I can't remember what year, maybe late '80s when he had the accident. I think
I'll look it up.
80. It might have been early '90s. I can't remember, but
95.
95. Okay, wow,
Yeah.
man. So yeah. So I know it sounded like he was. I remember it happening at the time because like I said, I think it happened in Virginia, um, and it was a big deal because it's like, oh no, Christopher Reeve, and it sounded like he was pretty lucky to live, from what I remember. Um, yeah. I know he popped up on Smallville. That's the only
He
time I
did.
really, yeah. In a few episodes of that, and it was just great to see him. It just man, it had to be really rough. I'm interested to see this documentary, see his journey post the accident because I mean he couldn't do anything. And he just really
Yeah.
like he's totally paralyzed. Which that gosh, my heart goes out to anybody that's had to deal with that or is dealing with that right now. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, and I'm happy that you now know about it too. I just found
Yeah,
out about it a few days ago actually. Um, and I love your point about Christopher Reeve and how underrated he was as an actor. I mean, people forget that first movie starred Gene Hackman, I believe, coming off The French Connection, and then of course the legendary Marlon Brando.
yeah,
And to be able to like hold your own in that movie with those two, like just iconic actors, it's just it's no small feat.
yeah, yeah. Well, and they consider because I wrote a paper about that when I was in film school, making kind of the marketing of Superman, both Superman.
Yeah.
But they were considering everybody. Like he beat out everybody, all the leading men in Hollywood, and whoever you can think of, Clint Eastwood,
Yeah.
Stallone, De
Yeah,
Niro.
the studio
Uh,
wanted a lot of people in
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
a
then
lot
he
of
beat all
names.
those and got that part, beat all them out, and got that part. And he really took ownership of it. Like I said, he was very involved in the production and the development of the film, the script, characters. I guess he had a big hand in that movie, the first one. And it kind of
Yeah.
went awry after after that, but uh, yeah, man, he was one of the greats. He was one of the greats. So yeah, I can't wait to see this. Is
I'm
it going to
curious.
be? This
Hmm?
is this WB? I mean, it's right. Are they?
Yep, it's the
I didn't even
first
see.
movie under the DC Studios label.
I didn't even see that. Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's going to be
that's
incredible in theaters too.
you know,
Okay, cool.
yeah, kudos to them.
I'll be there.
Well, let's move on from what was to what is and will be. Superman, the upcoming movie, directed by James Gunn, had a presence at CinemaCon, and one of the two heads of DC Studios, there's James Gunn and Peter Safran. Peter Safran, who does the finances and all the business stuff for that gets these movies made, took stage and revealed the official Superman logo that we can expect for the upcoming movie. And there it is
Cool.
right there. A first look, a debut. And yeah, it's pretty plain, in my opinion.
Yeah,
To go from and I don't dislike it. Don't get me wrong. Okay, it's just a logo. It's Superman. Okay, like it's It doesn't mean the movie's going to be great or terrible,
Right.
but it's different from all the detail that they put into the logo and the suit from Henry Cavill's portrayal. I mean, however you feel about the direction that they took with Superman, like people liked, if not loved, the costume and all the details with the Kryptonian language and all that kind of stuff. Maybe there could be some of that once we get an official look at this character in suit. But I mean, any thoughts on the logo? Is it fine? Is it Is it? I mean, what do you think, Keith?
It's fine. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
fine. Yeah.
it doesn't look. It looks um like you know how like you would see other Kryptonians and their insignias.
Yeah.
It looks like a different one than the House of L, with the S that we're used to. But oh, I mean, I don't know. Well, I will see it on the suit, of course, and wherever else, the places that we're used to. It'll be all right. But it has there's different. They've never really. It was tweaked a little, maybe a little in Man of Steel, but it's always been pretty much the same. Um, whereas like the Batman logo, they always change. Um,
Hmm.
but they're all you look at it and say, oh, it's a Batman logo. There's no there's no really one. No, this is the Batman logo, So there's a bunch of different ones, and maybe they'll start doing that with the Superman one. I guess, but it's fine. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are probably hating it, but um, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't look as much as I'd like to see it more S looking. You know what I mean? But I don't recall. I don't know if there's anything in the comics that I don't know if Man of Steel was the first one to say like, "Oh, it's not an S, it's a symbol." Um, I don't know if that's was ever anything in the comics before
Mm,
that. I'm sure it
it
was.
it might be, but
Yeah.
when it comes to Zack Snyder and like people, especially the comic fans are like, oh no, no, he's going away from the source material. Well,
Right.
Zack Snyder goes deep into the source material, into character iterations and storylines that even some of them don't even remember.
Yeah.
Um,
He
I'm
does,
seeing a
but he
lot of.
takes
I'm
his
looking at.
liberties too, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah. I know what you
I'm looking at Reddit right now, and a lot of people are saying Kingdom Come. If you know the storyline, Kingdom Come, the
mean.
logo.
Yeah.
And some people are criticizing. It does not look like an S.
Yeah.
Well, that's because maybe that's the point. It's not an
Right.
S, right? It's a symbol of hope. So that could be intentional.
Yeah.
Um, but regardless, we'll get more details. They're only about maybe a quarter of the way through production with this movie,
Right.
and James Gunn, he did shoot a video to say thanks to everyone and they're working hard on that. So there it is, right there.
All
Your
right.
first official look at the logo for the upcoming movie titled Superman.
It's all right. I don't mind. It might not. The more I look at it, it's all right. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
I want to see it
we'll
on.
see, let
Yeah.
it be its own thing, just don't,
Yeah.
we're not going to go into hating it because it's not what we wanted, like I'll be like that. All right. Let's switch from DC to Marvel and we're going to talk about the big one right away. Deadpool and Wolverine. Excuse me. Deadpool and Wolverine. We got probably our best look yet at Hugh Jackman's costume for Deadpool and Wolverine. And there it is right there. That's the image. Artwork, not like official movie still, but that's our best look right there at, these two in full costume right there. And yeah, as you could see, Wolverine's costume straight from the animated show, comics right there, the yellow and blue suit. Uh, the wings on the mask are colored in a darker blue and not black.
Yeah.
So that could be just for how it looks on screen. Um, some interesting details and theories have popped up about this movie, and specifically, so in the trailer we see Deadpool getting suited up, right? And he's getting his new suit. Well, the TVA is giving him the Tony Stark upgrade treatment, so to speak, in the form of his katanas.
Hmm.
Apparently, TVA switches the katanas of the past movies for ones that are made out of adamantium,
Oh,
which makes sense, right? He's going to
hmm.
need adamantium weapons to take on Wolverine. Now, both
Yeah.
of them have a healing factor, so I mean, him not having adamantium wouldn't be the end of the world. But I think that's a pretty neat addition right there for that. And
Yeah.
yeah, any thoughts on this artwork? I mean, you kind of already know what the costume looks like, but
Yeah.
to see our best look yet.
Yeah. The swords look Wolverine swords. Yeah, yeah, I love a couple of katanas. So
Yeah.
love Leonardo, the turtles. I love Wolverine. I like having two swords. Yeah, they look a little. They're not. He usually has the straight ones, so those kind of the
Hmm.
kind of bendy ones at the top there. Yeah, regular Deadpool look. Yeah, Wolverine, kind of looks classic Wolverine, pretty much. You know, I'm curious if there's a reason, unless it's I don't know if the that deleted scene from the Wolverine when he was in Japan where the one girl gives him the
Oh, that
yeah,
suit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
So is it like a ninja samurai sort of thing? Or is,
maybe another theory is that the reason why this Logan in the movie is wearing the suit is because there's a personal attachment to it.
hmm,
So maybe that could be
whatever it's that? Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
Um.
it was a deleted scene, so it's not like they shot it, they made it, So who knows? I don't know, but yeah, yeah. I wonder how that is going to look in live action because the reason they didn't do it all the year, Fox didn't do it 25 years ago or whatever, it was because they
Mhm.
thought it would look silly, like that would look silly in live action. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what it looks like with Hugh Jackman actually in the. Yeah, I think it'll look cool. I don't know. I can't wait to see it. I can't believe they're actually they're actually doing the Wolverine costume.
They are, man. That's been a thing
Yeah,
we at least never thought we'd see with Hugh Jackman,
yeah, yeah.
but again, Kevin Feige, president of production Marvel Studios, he just he's a hell of a salesman.
Right,
Jesus.
right, right.
Um which he was at CinemaCon and he confirmed the movie is in fact rated R. It's Marvel Studios' first rated R movie.
Yeah,
They showed 9 minutes of footage, and some other details description from the description of the footage. Uh, we will get an appearance from Thor, and
really. Okay.
yeah, and I just that's all I'll say. You can look it up online if you want more details.
Hmm.
And then you have the rumor that Taylor Swift is going to appear as Dazzler, which,
Dazzler.
yeah, Dazzler, a
Yeah,
variant of Dazzler, I guess, in
yeah,
some
she's a pop
universe,
star.
which,
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense, right? I
yeah.
mean, big time singer, star, right?
Right. And if she doesn't necessarily have to be a Oscar-winning actress to
It's not like
be
she's,
to play
I
that
mean,
part. So
financially, it would make sense to give Dazzler starring Taylor Swift her own movie. I mean, that movie is gonna make a
I
lot
don't
of
know about
money.
that.
You don't think the
It,
movie
it,
would make a lot of
it
money?
would make money, but I don't know how
Yeah,
good that
that's
would
all
be.
I'm saying. Like I mean, if a studio was truly desperate and they own a property, they were like, and Taylor Swift was willing. It's like, yeah, we'll make this movie. It won't
If
be for all comic book fans, but what do we know about Swifties, right? They go out and
true,
you know,
true, true.
yeah. So
Well,
I
I
don't know. We'll
suppose.
see. But yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine releasing on my birthday, July 26th. Can't wait. Let's go
Yeah.
to another production that Kevin Feige talked about, and that was Captain America: Brave New World.
Mm.
And we got some first looks courtesy of Entertainment Weekly.
So it still calls that, huh?
Hmm. But there's
Oh,
Anthony
okay.
Mackie as Sam Wilson carrying the shield, going through some sort of base. Maybe it's the can't be the Hydra base, right? I mean, Hydra's done with.
It's like one of those. It's like a. Is it a? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Is it one of those containers? You know, those shipping containers they were in on the TV series that they were doing all the
Yeah,
experiments in.
maybe this could be early on in the movie where he's investigating something. And then we got a look at Sam Wilson in outfit, and our first look,
Oh,
official look at Harrison Ford as President Thaddeus Ross.
absolutely. Yeah.
Thaddeus Ross played previously by William Hurt, the late William Hurt. And
No mustache.
yeah, it's funny. Yeah, the jacket that says Air Force One on it,
Right.
which, yeah,
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
right.
yeah, he starred in the movie Air Force One, so yeah, it's funny. Um,
Will he
apparently,
say? Will he say, "Get off my plane"?
uh, um, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I guess. I mean, they could find a way to make that work. Um, but apparently, this takes place early on in the movie. Sam Wilson visits Thaddeus in the White House, and they're on better terms than when Thaddeus last saw Steve Rogers. Um, and Thaddeus is tasking Sam Wilson on creating a new Avengers team. And so we'll see how
Oh,
that goes. I've heard so many rumors about this movie.
huh.
I don't think much of what I heard is true anymore. Because there's been so many reshoots. But I it remains to be seen. I am looking forward to this movie, but the fact that they've reshot so much, I mean, if it truly requires that and the movie they were testing it and it didn't look good or it wasn't gelling the way they thought, by all means reshoots are necessary. But
Yeah.
they did quite a bit for this production.
Well, yeah, yeah. And, that's not, as we know, it's not a bad thing. Uh, yes, for a lot of the time. Yeah, so much of
But
what they've done the last few years. I mean, so many. They reshot a bunch of Spider-Man.
No Way Home,
No Way Home too. So
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that as well. So
And
yeah.
to be fair, Daredevil, Born Again, they pretty much
Oh yeah, right.
reshot a
That's
lot
what I
of
heard.
that.
Yeah, kind of started that almost
So,
all over.
this could be some course correction.
Hmm.
Maybe they had ideas, storylines that they wanted to flesh out more from Phase 4, but they were probably thinking, you know what? Nah, let's go in a different direction. Let's course correction this cinematic universe.
I wonder if I just had this thought of. I wonder if there would be any inclusion of what happened in Wakanda, perhaps, maybe. Any? I mean, they made his suit. right? They made his from what we saw in at least in the series. They made that suit. I don't know. That kind of looked a little different, but the suit he's wearing in the image I just saw. Um,
Hey,
so I
Star Drew.
wonder, Star Drew, how's it going, buddy? So yeah, so I'm wondering. I get the feeling you may know this already. Maybe you know. Well, I don't know what you know, but I'm wondering if
Well,
there's
I
any
mean,
Wakanda stuff in it.
I haven't heard too much about Wakanda, but what I did hear was a chunk of the movie was going to take place. You remember that Eternal that was sticking out of the earth?
Yes,
Apparently, that's where the source of adamantium is. That's how adamantium is introduced.
interesting.
And the old storyline, and I don't know if this is true or not anymore. Like I said, they reshot so much. But the old storyline was the world powers trying to get a hold of this new metal from what's called Tiamat Island, the
Hmm,
celestial that's sticking out of Earth. And
interesting.
Captain America, this Sam Wilson Captain America, and the United States, we're gonna have a big part in preventing it from getting into the wrong hands.
Interesting.
So
Okay. Yeah. Right.
we'll see.
Right.
But
Well, I've referenced the series a couple times, the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. They reshot a bunch of that. Remember that was supposed to be a some kind of a virus or something that was going to get released into the world.
mhm.
So, but yeah, that's interesting. The big celestial thing. Um, wow. All right, that's this year, right? Is that coming? Is that November this year?
um, it's February 14, 2025,
Next
so
year. You're right.
Valentine's
Yep,
Day.
that's right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So,
And this next Marvel project, MCU project, they didn't really talk too much about, but they confirmed that Thunderbolts is releasing in May of
next year.
2025.
Yeah.
And people online were making a big deal about the asterisks
Asterisks. Yeah.
right there. And Kevin Feige did acknowledge that and said, we can't talk about that until after the movie.
After.
So makes me
Oh,
wonder, will the movie start off and the opening title will be Thunderbolts, and then at the end it'll be titled something else?
Dark Avengers, maybe.
West Coast Avengers, Dark
Coast Avengers.
Avengers, who knows? Like,
Interesting.
no, it wouldn't be West Coast Avengers because then Rhodey's involved and all that. But
That may
um,
be U.S. agents in the West Coast Avengers. So
yeah, but
okay.
yeah, the asterisk. The big takeaway is the asterisk is there and it's meant to be there. And
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know how this is, okay? How the fans get on the internet and they're theorizing, speculating. That's exactly what we're doing, okay? It helps us pass the time. So Thunderbolts with an asterisk releasing May 5th, 2025. Kevin Feige says can't talk about it until after we watch the movie.
Yeah,
So
right.
it'll make more sense.
That's
Um
interesting. He's after the movie part is. I'm like, huh. All right. So it's
I have a
one
few
of those.
more topics, but they're not CinemaCon related. But I did want to bring up one thing that was CinemaCon related. Not necessarily a blockbuster, but a project that I've been following closely. I've said this icon, real life legendary pop icon, needed his own biopic. Some footage was shown of the Michael Jackson biopic, and we found out it will include over 30 songs. That's a lot of songs, Keith. That's uh that's quite a bit.
I mean,
I
that's
don't even think the Elvis movie had that many songs. Uh Baz
no, but
Luhrmann's Elvis, but
we're talking. They're. I mean, we're going back Jackson 5 all the way through to to the end here. So that's
yeah.
yeah, that tracks.
So yeah, could be. But some footage was shown and the audience liked what they saw from CinemaCon. And we've talked about this project before on this channel. Um, Michael Jackson's nephew, Jafar Jackson, is playing the late king of pop,
Excuse me.
and so I have a particular interest in this biopic. I wonder, I hope that they touch on everything, um, not just Jackson 5 and Thriller and all that stuff, but into some of the controversies as well. But we know how estates are with these type of projects, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. And some other news outside of CinemaCon. We got an update on Daredevil Born Again. Uh, she's back. Wilson Fisk's love interest. She was originally, well, excuse me, she originally wasn't going to be in the series, but she is now. The character's name is Vanessa, played by Ayelet Zurer. And I loved their chemistry in the Daredevil series. I mean, one of the best, and really added a lot of layers to Wilson Fisk's character. And she was great. I'm happy she's back. Um, and also stepping outside of the comic book genre here, we got an update on Mortal Kombat 2. This is from Mikhail Brooks, who played Jax. Let's watch and listen to what he had to say in a recent interview.
So you like big franchises, right? You go Law and Order, now you got Mortal Kombat 2 coming out.
I like franchises. Franchises are safer.
Yeah, because they're right there.
They're safer.
They got a fan base.
They're tried and tested. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Mortal Kombat 2. What can people expect?
Oh man, it's a fight movie.
Okay.
So if you're a fan of the game, there's 27 fights in the movie. Wow. I think. I don't think I'm exaggerating. I think there's 27 fights in the movie. Each fight is 3 to 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's a fight movie. So if you're a fan of the game, anything that we kind of didn't touch on last time, we fixed it. Mm-hmm. Like, we heard the fans, we listened. Todd Gardner's an incredible producer. New Line Cinema really dug in, and we worked with with Ed Boon, who created the game.
Yeah.
And so it's very true to the game.
Were you into the game? Were you one of those guys that was pressing all the buttons?
So here's the thing. I'm playing Mortal Kombat as a kid, and then I'm watching Law and Order.
Oh my god!
I mean,
really?
it's like circle. A dream come true.
You
it's like
manifested it.
I believe in that.
Right?
Like, it's, you put it out there, and it also draws you in.
Yeah.
All right, let's pull out our calculator here. He said 27 fights, right?
Pretty sure. That's exactly what I was doing.
So he said 27 fights, 3 to 5 minutes per fight. So let's say 4 minutes, right?
It's 108 minutes.
108 minutes worth of fights. The movie is 2 hours long. That's 120 minutes.
If they're 5 minutes, that's 135 minutes. So yeah, you're right. Let's say 4 minutes.
Let's say the movie's 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's 130 minutes, right? Yeah. So, I mean, that's a lot of
mostly fighting. Yeah.
I'm doing a quick search here. How much fight minutes in John Wick 4?
Ooh, that's a good question. But
the latest gun blasting thriller surpasses all those. No, it's 169 minutes. I want to know how many minutes of that was
the
fighting.
movie's long, so it's shoot.
Nobody has a clue.
How long the fight, like each fight scene?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But I was just curious.
Yeah. That's
wow.
All. Well, with that, and what's the problem with that is though, it's car crashes, and so a lot of it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you take fighting.
Yeah, I mean, but with Mortal Kombat, it's fighting, but it's also fatalities and powers and stuff like that,
lasers.
So I mean, that's a lot, I mean, could they have gone too far in the other way? and
There
have
was
done that.
there was fighting in the last movie. It just wasn't. They didn't do the Mortal Kombat fight. It was just, you know what I mean?
There
Like,
was no tournament.
right. The issue wasn't
If
there's
you
not
think
enough
about it,
fight.
yeah, there was no tournament in Mortal Kombat, that movie from a few
Yeah, they
years
didn't even
ago.
do it. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So right, that's the big
Um,
problem.
yeah, I mean, we all remember the opening scene with Scorpion and Sub-Zero,
That
and
was
I
awesome.
mean, just how incredible that was. Like, and you know, some of the fighting was actually pretty darn good. You know, we just watched actor Mikael Brooks give an interview, and his fight with Sub-Zero right there um, was one of the more standout ones. You know, where he loses his arms. You know, it was the fighting wasn't so much the problem. Neither was the violence, right? I mean, we saw a lot of blood splatter and all that, and fatalities and whatnot. It was just the selections, some of the choices they made with some of the characters. I mean,
Sure.
you have anybody who's familiar with Mortal Kombat, Goro, the four-armed just beast, is one of the most scariest video game villains, and he gets kind of taken down with the help of the protagonist Cole Young's girlfriend and daughter, and I'm like, what am I watching? Like,
Goro is supposed to be like and that's what I mean. Like, this wasn't even in the tournament. Like, Goro's supposed to be the guy you got
yeah,
to fight if you want to get to Shang Tsung. The whole thing is like no one ever gets past Goro.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And so yeah. And then
ah,
Shang Tsung, shapeshifter, doesn't shapeshift. Like, you know, like
yeah, didn't
it's-
barely did anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that
but it
was during
sounds
that
like
time.
it's based on what he said that they're gonna do all that stuff. So.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, just make a better movie. You know, the casting was cool. You know, and don't make Cole Young the focal point of the movie. Okay, what's his name? Louis Tan. Just
Yeah, yeah,
don't.
yeah. I
Okay,
like
make
him,
it
but
Liu Kang
right,
or
right.
somebody like, and we're gonna get Carl Urban as Johnny Cage.
That's
So
right. That's right. I forgot about
yeah,
that.
we'll see
Yeah,
how that is. Interesting choice. You know, we all
yeah.
love Carl Urban. Um, so we'll see.
Mhm.
But that's all I have for news topics. Let's catch up with you a little bit before we wrap up here. Have you been watching anything lately? Like, what's good with you?
Oh man. So I watched Madam Web the other night.
You sat through Madam Web. Okay, the floor is all yours. Tell me, how was it?
I don't know where to start. I mean, look, it's bad. It is as bad as people are saying. Yes. A lot of times, I've lately, like I've last couple of years, like, I've eased up just watching bad movies. That if I see a movie and it's bad, I'd be like, I've seen worse. This is this is bad.
Yeah,
Bad movie. Here's the thing. The cast is great. There's actually some moments in it that are like, oh, genuinely funny. Like the scenes with her and Parks and Rec. Oh my gosh.
wait. You say
Adam
her
Scott.
as in Dakota Johnson,
Oh,
right?
sorry. Yeah, Dakota. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Dakota Johnson and Adam Scott.
Yeah, who plays Ben Parker?
Who they don't ever.
Well,
They just call him Ben. They don't even.
they
They
call him
don't
Ben.
say
Okay,
Ben Parker. I'll get to that in a second. But,
okay,
the scenes between them are actually really genuinely pretty good. There's some good funny dialogue.
yeah.
Um, S.J. Clarkson, directed it. I know she was involved with WandaVision, right? From what I understand, right? Is that
Hmm.
correct? Okay, yeah. So you can tell in a lot of the scenes, um, but it's just not a good movie, man. And the biggest problem I had with it is that all the stuff. This is supposed to be. You got Madam Web, and the three young ladies that are going to be, Spider Women, different versions of Spider Woman, but they don't. We only see it in flash forward form. They never actually.
In the trailer.
Yeah, that's it. They don't do it at all. The whole
Yeah.
movie is not. I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be origin. They're going to all get. We see how they get their powers, and they don't do that at all. It's as if I was trying to think of a comparison. It's like if you imagine the movie Iron Man, right? And it's everything up till when he's in the cave and he has the idea that he's going to build this suit, and that's it. And the movie ends there. That's basically what Madam Web is. Like they don't do, and then he just has some images in his head of him in maybe in a suit flying around fighting. But that's it. That's what the movie is. They don't. It's really bizarre. What a bizarre movie to have been made. It's also it kind of one of my complaints about Joker, right? Because Joker coming out, Joker 2 coming out, is that it's not comic booky at all. Like it's got characters
Yeah.
and it's set in a place but it's not any comic book stuff. And this is that. Like I said, Adam Scott just plays Ben, right? He says to Dakota Johnson, Cassie Webb name. He says to her at one point, "Hey, I'm seeing someone." Oh, and she says, "Oh, what's her name?" Doesn't say. Obviously, okay, well, it's May. It doesn't say it's May. Yeah.
He doesn't even say May.
No, he
May Parker,
he
who's
just like
Aunt
changes
May.
the subject. You're like waiting for him to say, okay, yeah, her name's May, but no, he doesn't say it. Emma Roberts plays Mary, his sister-in-law. Again, they never
Who's
say
Peter Parker's
his
mother,
mom,
or
right?
meant to be Peter Parker's mother.
Yes, but they never, and she's pregnant, and she does eventually go. They have they have a baby shower, and they're like trying to have hey, guess what the name is, right? And everybody's giving out with names. No, of course, no one says Peter. They have a contest and see if you can guess what we're going to name. She's like, oh, we're going to save that till the end. Okay, when you get to the end of the movie, she's having the baby. She actually goes into labor, has the baby. Then never once the Peter's dad doesn't show up. He's off in in China or something doing research for whatever he's doing. And it's just a bunch of that, like I said, and just a bunch of references again to the whole thing. At one point, they're riding there because they're both EMTs, and they're in their ambulance, and she's driving all crazy and stuff. And oh my gosh, I feel like I'm getting shot at. And she says the line, "Oh, what? You never been shot at in Queens?" And you're just like, okay. And I'm just like, okay.
You're just like, okay, yeah.
Right.
Wow. Like
So
I mean, damn. It's almost like
it's really bizarre.
it's like a movie that didn't have permission to use the Spider-Man
Yes.
licensed IP.
Right.
So they found ways around it.
To talk around it. Like there's exactly
Right.
that's exactly what
And
it
mind
is.
you, this is Sony, the studio that owns the IP for Spider-Man.
Right.
And
Right. And it's crazy
why?
because it
Go ahead.
would have been a good idea. Like I would have loved to see,
Yeah.
the 3 Spider Women and Madam Web, and they're fighting this one guy who's horrible. He's terrible. His performance, the actor was terrible.
Right.
And for some reason he's wearing this costume that looks like Spider-Man, but it's not. And all he does is just jump around. Like he doesn't really do anything. And the whole thing is like, oh, he had this vision. These girls are going to kill him one day, so he's trying to hunt them down and kill them.
Isn't he in bed with his girlfriend when he has a vision? And like,
Yes, and she's like an NSA agent or something. And
yeah,
it's
he gets up in the
and we
middle
have
of the
no
night and
idea.
decides I need to go kill these women.
Yeah, and we have no idea who he is. Don't know what he
Oh
does.
God.
We don't know what's he trying to do. What he's some kind of villain, but we don't know why they are going to kill him in 10 years from now or whatever. It's never explained. Like, we have no idea. It's
Wow.
what a weird movie, man. You could tell there's a bunch of stuff that was removed for sure, or cut out, or changed, but
What the hell?
it's bizarre, man. I get the feeling that the people in it thought they were going to be in a Spider.
Oh yeah.
I really think they thought.
I'm sure they pitched to Sydney Sweeney, to Dakota Johnson,
100%.
that this is a different take. You get to wear the costume. This is going to be the origin before the origin story. And it's gonna be a really great idea. It's gonna tie together the Spider-Man universe. We just had Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland in the same movie, and we're gonna dive deeper into that. And no, they didn't. They have set themselves back so much after what they did with No Way Home. And dude, like animated wise with the Spider-Verse, they're killing it.
Killing it, right?
What are they doing with the live action?
It's
Oh,
and I can't believe they're acting like surprised that this movie didn't do like I don't. Did you guys watch this? You watched this movie? Like you really watched this and thought this was
they
going to be?
lost confidence a
There's
long time ago, probably through the first third of the production of this movie, dude. But Keith, I gotta ask you, man, what compelled you to watch Madam Web? What was it
uh,
free? Did you lose a bet? Did you have a 12 pack and wanted to throw something on, like a 12 pack of beer or something?
well, not necessarily, but no. My daughter Charisse and I, we just wanted to watch it and make fun.
Oh, okay.
We like to watch movies, like some bad movies sometimes, and
Sure.
kind of do our own like running commentary, kind of making fun of it. So that's basically it. I just rented it on Prime Video. Like, all right, let's watch it. Like, I'm curious to see it. If I'd have seen this in the theater, I would have been like, there's no way I would have gone.
You know what?
Like, taking the time.
I'm going home after the weekend for a quick break, and I think I'm gonna convince my brother and his lady to watch this movie, and
Yeah,
you know
I would say watch it.
open one, maybe two bottles of wine, and
Sure. Just out of curiosity, honestly, that's really we were. I'm curious to see. That's really what it was.
Yeah.
So it's man, yeah.
Hmm.
I can understand why Dakota Johnson is it's crazy.
Oh,
Her
she's
promo for it.
done with
She
these
was
type of
right.
movies. She's
Yeah,
just.
yeah, and it's too bad because it could have been good. Like she could have.
I mean, can you imagine? You're a talented actress. You work very hard. You get almost like scammed into
Yeah,
doing this movie that will live forever.
yeah,
And just your name. You get first billing. When they flip
right,
around the DVD or Blu-ray, your first name is on there.
exactly. Like
On the movie
exactly.
poster, it's your name on there. Ugh. Like
It's
I
yeah,
would
man.
have I would have raised hell. I would have been you need to give me the early 2010s M. Night Shyamalan treatment and not have me anywhere on the marketing or anywhere. Like
Yeah,
mm-mm.
yeah. It's bizarre. It's Sony.
Yes, Stardew, I know. Go watch Aquaman too.
Aquaman
I
2.
need to watch Aquaman, but
I do wanna watch
I did catch a few minutes of it on HBO, flipping through the hotel channels, because this one doesn't have Netflix and all that. But I was turning on and flipping through channels, and hotels offer HBO, so it was on there. And what I saw, I was like, "Eee." I don't know, but yeah. Who knows? That was maybe the only bad part of the movie, and maybe I might like the other 1 hour and 58 minutes. Who knows? So there it is, Keith's review of Madam Web. I thought this would have been years down the road, but Keith, you stood up to the plate. You were brave, and you watched Madam Web, and it just you had a fun experience, to say the least, with you and your daughter to just throw this movie on and clown on it. You probably laughed more times than you thought you would, or
Yes.
chuckled.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, just craziness, man. Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you, taking one for the team. And let's see what else. Anything else coming up this month in movies? Oh, Civil War.
Yeah.
Civil War. I'm gonna watch that movie, and man, some of the stuff I've been hearing, it's really good. Maybe Alex Garland's best movie. Again, Keith, we talked about it before. Just the idea of California and Texas teaming up to create the Western forces, and just that right there is like, because it's Alex Garland, it's like, okay, the idea sounds so crazy, but with the creator behind it, I gotta see it.
Yeah.
And
Same.
yeah, maybe if we have time, I'll reach out to you and we can catch that movie. It's been a while since we caught a movie
Yeah.
together,
Right.
buddy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll do that. And did you watch X-Men 97
Yes.
this week?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
I didn't get to watch it yet. I'm gonna throw it on
Okay.
after this. But I mean you could I know what happens. Twitter, okay, X, like I was telling Jake, there's no moratorium with these, non-spoilers. Once a TV show or movie releases, people just put it out there. What'd you think of X-Men 97? I hear a lot about Gambit.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna, not spoiler. I don't want to spoil it.
No, just
You got to watch.
just
No.
say
I
it.
don't want to. I don't want to say. No.
Say
But
it. Say it before I say it. And I didn't even watch it.
listen, it's devastating. It's uh, the action's incredible. Look
Yeah.
at the end. The episode starts off. It's a drama. It's kind of soap opera. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, I can't believe she did this. Can't believe they're doing this. And then all of a sudden, whoa! It just turns into what just happened. Uh, the world now is, yeah, it's on now. Like, I'm curious to see where this is going to go because listen, it's comics, so anytime it's like, okay, this person's dead, they're not dead until, I mean, maybe they're dead for now. They'll be back. I think they'll be back, or they might be dead. I don't know.
Sure.
But it's pretty devastating, and there's some members of the team that that were there. The other members, some of the super heavy hitters, were not there.
What?
Obviously, we know Storm lost their powers, and some of the other ones were back at the mansion. So it's like, man, if everybody was there, they would have helped, or it could have been even worse if everybody was there. We don't know how this happened. We don't know who sent this attack. It came seemingly from the future. I will say Cable does show up to try to warn them, and then he gets zapped back. So
Damn.
yeah.
Do they
it's
at least
something.
advance the Storm plot?
No, she doesn't
No,
appear
not
at
yet.
all.
Okay, so that's still happening in the
Yeah.
background.
But boy, I'm telling you, I will say she'll be back in a big way, I would imagine, because of what happened. So
I am throwing it on right after this, man. I can't wait.
yeah, it's pretty epic. It's one of those things where, like, like the way, remember, like how Captain America, Winter Soldier, like, changed the whole landscape of the whole entire.
Yeah.
This is kind of like that. So
Well, damn. I can't wait. I know what I'm throwing on tonight. Oh no, Keith Barnes must have lost his internet. Hold on, let me switch out of this little Two-Face thing right here. Hold on, let me try. Nah, I can't do it. Well, that's a good time to wrap it up right there. I kind of feel like Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park when everyone stepped outside of the ride in Jurassic Park, and then he's in there just talking to himself. There he is. Let's bring him back.
that's weird.
What happened?
I don't know.
Wow. But yeah, anyways, that sounds very intriguing. I need to go watch X-Men. If you haven't seen X-Men 97, you're a fan of comic book movies or comic books in general, you need to go on Disney Plus and watch it. Chances are you're already paying for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So throw on X-Men 97, watch it. Okay. Cartoons are not just for kids. Okay. Like anime, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Like what did Guillermo del Toro said, director? He says animation is a form of art, or not
Absolutely.
not a genre, right?
Yeah, it's just another
So-
medium for storytelling medium. That's
Yeah.
all.
Exactly.
And listen,
And-
this episode is it's very, very adult themed.
Yeah.
I'll say that for sure. Not just in the action, but in some of the more dramatic, personal stuff between characters, for sure. Like, if you
Mhm.
watch it, you'll see what I'm saying. But,
I'm looking forward to it, man. Okay. Well, Well, before we wrap it up, I'm gonna circle back one more time. Keith, what did you think about this trailer? Joker, Folie à
Right.
Deux, first
Thank you.
look, Lady Gaga, Harley
Yes.
Quinn,
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix is back. Musical numbers, not a musical, but musical numbers in here. Um, uh, man, what do you think, dude?
Well, it looks good. Okay, it kind of just feels like. I mean, it's just a bunch of see that right there. That's the part where I'm like, okay, it's just still him just dancing around with a cigarette in his mouth. Look, it looks good. I can't wait to see it, but I want to see some Joker stuff. That's all. I just want to see some comic book Joker stuff. But I mean, I'll be there, right there, front, opening night. But I'm curious if because it doesn't look like she's a psychologist.
It looks like she's already,
She's in there.
yeah, broke
Yeah.
that point, and
Right,
is
right.
now an
She's in.
inmate.
Right. Which so I'm curious to see, her origin, if they show it at all, but or is she already, taking on that persona of Harley Quinn? Um, so my daughter had a theory that maybe it's kind of in reverse, where maybe she's manipulating him, getting him to kind of
Well, I mean, yeah, look at that photo right there.
yeah
On
yeah
the bottom
yeah
left,
right
yeah,
yeah
that could be,
100%.
you see Arthur Fleck right there, and then you switch
Yeah,
to this image right here.
yeah,
Now he's Joker.
right.
So
Well, it looks good, man. Listen, I'm in. I'm in it. I can't wait to see it. But I just want to see some Joker stuff, not just. I kind of I'm getting a little just the him just twirling around constantly, just doing the dancing and the cigarettes and all
you
right.
want to see
Seen
the
enough of that.
Clown Prince of
I
Crime,
want to see some crime stuff. Yeah, exactly.
which there was a little bit of it. He was running away, and like it seems like the police were chasing after him or something. So
Yeah.
maybe there could be that.
Mhm.
But I'm less worried about. I mean, not that I was ever really worried, because on paper, I mean, the musical. But then you think about what Joaquin Phoenix did as Johnny Cash, and then you have Lady Gaga, who's beautiful voice.
Mhm.
And by the way, I said it. I'll say it again. I think she wins Best Lead Actress. I think she's gonna surprise everybody.
Sure.
This role, if you know the type of roles that Lady Gaga has done, whether it was in Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, or was it Sin City, or was it the other Robert Rodriguez
Uh,
flick? No, it was Machete 2, Machete Lives or
yes,
something.
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And she was in American Horror Story as well. Like, under the direction of Todd Phillips, I think she can wow people and give a very beautifully chaotic type of performance. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I just want to get your thoughts on Joker Folie à Deux. And that's going to wrap it up this week, guys, for Fandom United with Bartley and Barnes. Again, this is a Blockbuster podcast every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. We appreciate everyone who stopped by. We appreciate everyone who stuck around. Talking to you, Star Drew.
John Booth.
Yeah, and Booze, there he is right there, John Booze.
Done.
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you stopping by as well.
Mhm.
And yeah, we'll be back next week. More conversations. Hopefully we'll have Bartley on. And until then, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week.